original samples for Looking at the Front Door.
Yeah.
The woo woo.
Yeah. I played that for you.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
45.
I thought that shit was Jeffrey Osborne. At first, baby, woo, woo, woo. I thought that was that. My man D Smooth was like, nah, B. Slipped me the fucking MP3. I was like,
I got that show, man.
The fact that he was able to match that with the
key
Donna
of
Bird
it,
joint.
yeah.
And the tempo.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, when I
and that's
first
on the
heard it,
SP12.
yeah, when I first heard it, I thought it was the sample that came together.
Yeah.
SP12.
But like I say,
That's not 50 though.
It was a 950 he was using.
RZA does that shit all the time.
Triggering the sound.
Fucking criminology.
Yeah.
And then doing the drums on the 1200.
RZA, that is one of my favorites.
You know, like I say, shame on a nigga. Like, from using that motherfucking Duke Ellington to some Syl Johnson. How the fuck do you even combine that shit?
RZA's nuts.
How do you combine that shit on a song, you know?
Personally, as far as like a full producer,
That shit was
like
pretty.
producing artist in full,
These are pretty looking ones.
I think he and Dre the best in hip hop.
Who?
RZA and Dre, as far as like producing, like traditional production. You know what I'm saying? Like the full out shit. I think him and Dre are the
As
best.
far as arranging and all of that.
No,
I heard
a Dre mixtape from '89, and just his mixtape on 4-track. I guess it was 4-track he was using. That shit it was like some Bomb Squad shit, where it was just like mad shit on top.
I gotta hear that.
Yo,
Have it on
who
the
produced Slow Down? Because everything is from a different song in that song. The bass line, the drums.
Slow Down by who?
Brand Nubian.
I think Puba did it.
Puba did that? Damn.
Cass was on it, but see that's the way I would make my tracks. That's the way I was doing my thing. Like I wasn't really trying to keep getting all the same sound from the same place because it was boring.
Like DJing shit.
shit that he did on Peace-Trumentals.
The
It's
bass
some
line on Peace Jazz alone.
Dude, I mean, the first song, A Little Soul.
Yeah.
Dude, man, when I heard that sample, man, that. But then what's crazy is, what's the third song? It's like,
You ain't talking about Do with the Minnie Riperton.
no, that's the second one.
Okay.
Play This at Night or whatever. The third one is
I get raw.
the third one is
The Large Professor joint.
I get high.
Yeah, I get raw and high.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I get
Dude,
raw.
So
Yeah.
that song, dude, do you know how many people have flipped that sample?
I don't even know what that is.
So that's the Foster Silvers. That's the Ahmad Jamal misdemeanor.
Oh wow.
That's a misdemeanor.
Really? Wow.
So it's the Ahmad Jamal version.
Damn.
So I got the album. The
DLC?
Well, DLC used the Foster Silvers
Okay,
version.
right.
Yeah.
The Ahmad Jamal version is the one that Gangstar used for Soliloquy of Chaos.
Okay.
So that's that same sample. Pete used it in that song. And then when you hear the part that Pete took, so he didn't take all the same parts, but like the main sample, the da 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 da. Pete took the bass line from the Ahmad Jamal and put it under that. That's what that shit.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
That's from the Ahmad Jamal
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
nah,
here.
Pete, yeah.
Pete is on another level, man. Like,
Peace Jazz, the Gary Burton mixed with Creative Source alone. Like, yo. And he played the whole bass line himself. Boom, dum, 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 through the Gary Burton vibes. And then, of course, the
You know who else is a good chopper but doesn't get like credit like Primo and Pete? Q-Tip.
Q-Tip is good. Q-Tip doesn't have the volume of Primo.
Yeah, exactly.
Pete.
Yeah,
That's why he doesn't get the
My favorite joints from Tip, the World Is Yours remix, the I Love, the Drink the Pain Away, of course the Apache with the Capricorn flip.
Who did Q-Tip do Shook Ones?
No,
Nah,
Havoc did.
that's
Shook
Havoc.
Ones.
That's
Yo, Havoc.
Yeah.
I don't know where he
Andy
got
Crook, son.
the sample.
I know where he got.
I know the sample. I got the record too. Hey, is it a soundtrack?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We got the same record.
Hip nigga the game though.
Oh, I'm gonna get it.
I was gonna try to flip the ghost loop, but I don't have a record. I couldn't find my clean one, so I like that part though.
aspect of stuff nowadays. They be like, yo, your album is not mixed well, and I can hear that this is off and that is off. This had to be one of the worst mixed albums ever. And this is like one of my favorite albums ever. This, to Cal, Enter the 36, none of them really cared about that. 36 was not, had no...
But you didn't care though.
You didn't care because like you could hear, you love and grit, and you could just hear what they were trying to do. So it really didn't matter. Like this one starts off with that powerful impact. Like that's that thing is like the dirtiest beat ever, man.
Honestly, I think the person that pushed me out of R&B was Kelly. Like when Public Announcement started getting big, I was like, yo, this
once
is
they
whack.
started doing that mid-90s stuff,
Yeah,
it was a lot of random R&B groups. Especially late 90s, like 97 to 2000.
Missed all. I wasn't paying attention.
It was a bunch of, it was a Splackavelli. Y'all remember that? You don't remember that?
Splackavelli. I remember. I remember Splackavelli.
I'm crazy. I remember that.
Splackavelli.
You don't remember that? It was late 90s. I'm not singing that shit. Get the fuck out of here. That was the name of the song, Splackavelli.
Who sang it?
What was Pressure? That was the name of the group. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's the
Yo, just get the Ride
Like
soundtrack.
About 94,
That's the
94. That's when I kind of stopped listening to R&B. And I'd actually make fun of my friends that was like still in the R&B. I'm like, yo, nigga,
late 80s was the time for R&B,
you're not listening
man.
to fucking
Late 80s, early 90s.
real shit.
But see-
Maverick just dropping.
But see, I had to listen to R&B. I was DJing. They was like, play that 702. You know what I'm saying?
You can't even say that in the same sentence.
But late 80s, early 90s, cause I was a big New Edition fan, man.
Oh shit.
Any Heartbreak? That was my album, man. You feel me? Any Heartbreak? Dude, I'm not even ashamed to say it. That's how hot of an album that was. Any Heartbreak?
That was my shit.
Dude,
Yo,
Yellow and Black Traffic Fox on it.
the remix for Any Heartbreak?
dude.
Oh,
You got it. I did a New Edition mix. You got to listen to it.
Okay,
This shit- and I got the 12-inch Any Heartbreak
Dude.
version on it.
Q.
oh yeah?
Q is like my musical brother. We talk about
Like, yo,
shit.
New Edition
We
was
would
my
ta-
shit.
Cause
B.
Q, you are the only other person who I know who's ever heard of that Cooley High remix, that Camp Low
My
Cooley
shit.
High remix.
Which one?
Ski's
The
best
one
beat
with
to
the Janet Jackson beat.
That's,
That
that was the only one I've ever known.
It was the mic.
That's not the one on the album.
I know.
Nah, there's a
remix.
Yeah.
But it was only like on. I mean, I think it came out on CD after. I think it was.
It wasn't on the 12 inch.
It was on nothing.
I have
was on the 12 inch.
I have it on
was on a
vinyl.
white
I have it on vinyl.
See,
it's
this is that shit I was telling you about, Gadget, that we gotta catch on film, is these little known gems and
See, but
nuggets.
yeah, like
Dropping
94 to
little nuggets, man.
96, 97, it was a lot of like
It's a lot of
label.
a lot of white label,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that you're not gonna hear anymore.
The cover girls, man. The Kenny Dope remixes.
No, I don't
Wishing
know
on a
that.
Star. Yo.
Kenny's,
I didn't hear
first of all,
shit.
Kenny Dope is like one of the most underrated
Yo.
producers. Kenny
They call
Dope
him the master
and
of
Louis
records.
Vega.
I always like, everyone's like,
They
who's your
call him
favorite
the master
producer?
of
I always
records.
say Kenny Dope first,
Kenny
just
Dope,
for the
Louis
sake of
Vega
putting
was,
him up,
I think
man.
here the other night. And you raw.
Really? Kenny Dope and Louis Vega, man.
Masters
Like the
at
thing
work.
about it, I feel like a lot of the hip hop dudes don't know about him so much,
can't
but they
even now.
shit is so like based in a lot of hip hop stuff, man.
They was hip hop DJs.
Yeah,
before.
that's what people don't realize.
Kenny Dope, just like you're saying, his record collection, he was the one that reissued the Manziel break because nobody else had it on 45. He went ahead and issued it because it was such a rare record that you couldn't find it, that he went ahead and was like, boom, we gotta put this out. So, and it's still to this day, to find the actual 45, it's so hard.
Dude, it's funny because like everybody talks about a lot of, you know, like hip hop producers or who are great producers. Kenny Dope and Louis
Dude,
Vega,
telling you.
all of them masters that work shit.
45 King.
45 King.
You can't
But
forget
you know, just as
45
far
King.
as like, you know, people who like people associate them more with stuff outside of hip hop. Those dudes, man, their production, like anything they have their name on. Like their stuff is not just simple loops, you know, throughout the entire song. Like I've got like the New Eurekan Soul albums.
Yeah.
You know,
I got that one,
so you just listen to like the stuff that they do.
What's going on, man?
Money making jam boys.
Oh yeah?
I won't disagree with that.
That's it.
I won't, but I'm going to hold him up.
You ain't gotta like him, but he's one of the most diverse in the game.
You probably feeling his style. That's what you like.
Wow.
Oh. Pause.
Show you your man right here.
You see this guy?
Just
You see that?
Watch this. I want you to see your man in his glory right here. Look at your man, B.
Is that Will I Am picture?
Why you got pictures? Why you got
You got a picture of Will I Am on your phone?
Yeah. I would take a close-up look.
Why you got
yeah.
Why you got
Look at
pictures
that.
of your iPhone?
Because just when I get into these type of conversations, I want you to see your man.
Oh,
That's what exactly.
he made Lost Chains though. So
Exactly.
Yeah, is that the joint with the gummy hairdo? Oh yeah, I seen that.
It's the blackface.
He made Lost Chains though.
Nah, the nigga just look like he.
Your man, Will I Am.
Pipe it down.
Look at your man.
My bad.
Look at your man. Oh, take it easy.
He made
Look
Lost.
at your man.
He made Lost Chains.
This nigga got.
How many years you got something?
So do you think Will I Am is the most versatile producer?
But I will
Yeah.
say that his
Yo,
arm
you trying to trap me on camera for all these little internet dudes.
Nah.
No, he's not the most.
Look at your man. His armband is matching his Quartermaine part.
Oh shit! Stop playing.
It make you think twice. See? Just that silence is good enough for you.
Chains, though.
Just the silence is good enough for you. It made you think twice about your
Will I Am
association.
is one of the gadget. Will I Am is one of the most diverse producers in the game. You may not have to like all of his material, but his ability to write songs for like ordinary people, for John Legend, produce tracks for Gucci Mane and 50 Cent, Justin Timberlake, also make music for the Black Eyed Peas at the same time from the same producer, is something that you have to admire. And you can call it what you want, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know too many other producers that have the ability to do that. You may not have to like all of it,
Right.
but if you look at his catalog, it's impressive. Yeah, when it comes down to like hip hop, like CTI, I guess because of the feel of it, a lot of hip hop artists in the early '90s were raiding CTI's catalog to get the type of grooves that they felt would be pleasing. You know what I mean? And they kind of went against the grain because everybody was doing the James Brown thing for a minute. So people really started like, let me find some other sounds and stuff. So first you heard Grover Washington, then you started hearing the George Bensons, then you started hearing the Joe Farrells, then you started hearing the Idris Muhammad's, and so forth and so on. I'm walking around as an 18-year-old with Idris Muhammad records under my arm instead of the brand new SWV. You know what I mean? CTI. Yeah. And Kudu. That Kudu. It's like hip hop latched on a Kudu really early because I think those grooves were more designed for a more commercial aspect of the jazz sound. Then beyond that, as they started getting tired of squeezing the juice out of those, they started going more into the CTI catalog. But they're consummate. The greatest thing about CTI is they had some of the best musicians. Like, regardless, like they came from the greater jazz idiom, and they just started making, they made records that were designed for a specific audience. But the musicianship was ridiculous. Like,
it's like the Def Jam of jazz.
Agreed.
All day long.
Quote.
It was like the early Def Jam of jazz leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.